It's August and it's a little bit cooler than it has been just lately. It's 86 degrees today rather than almost 100. So I thought I'd get out into the garden and work on some of the tasks that need to be done in August. So what I'm hoping to get done today is deadheading. So there are some Shasta daisies there that need deadheading. We have some roses that need cutting back and deadheading. And we have lots of daylilies in the garden. So I'm going to be transplanting some of them, dividing them and transplanting them to our front garden that is in need of a little pick-me-up in terms of colour. So as all of these pollinators get to work, let's get to work and get some stuff done in the garden. So I'm going to deadhead these roses. Also clear some space because we have a rose there and Joe Pye that grows just like crazy, even though we did the Chelsea chop and cut him down by half. He's still as tall as he is, which is very tall, but he's crowding out this rose right here. So I just need to cut some space there for that rose and deadhead these roses. It's amazing how fast this Joe Pye grew. We knew he was here, right next to the roses when we planted them this spring, but we kind of forgot just how aggressively this native plant can grow. There we go, that's a little bit better. It's given that rose a little bit more light. And then get to deadheading these roses. We got quite a few blooms out of these this year. This is their first year, so quite pleased with that. It's been a good year, I think, for roses. At least it has in our zone 5B. A lot of them, this is their second bloom. This is Macy's Pride that I moved just this spring, and she seems to be doing very well. Oops. Lovely fragrance too from Macy's Pride. So when deadheading these roses, you cut it back to the nearest 5-leaf pattern, like that. And what you're also trying to do is give the rose some shape so it doesn't grow all higgledy-piggledy. So ideally you're looking for a V shape on a rose bush like Macy's Pride. And I've got another rose bush here on the fence. I'm wearing my gloves for this one because his thorns are really quite aggressive. But it has beautiful, you can just see the last of it there, beautiful kind of orangey, peachy bloom. And it has a nice scent too. Often see people stopping as they walk along the fence to smell it. And while I'm here, one of the banes of our life, these elm trees, there's no digging them up. And once they've established themselves, so I just have to keep cutting them back. And the way they hide themselves, look at that, look at that. Right in the middle of the rose. Just wow. And again, cutting back to the nearest 5-leaf. I think this is probably this rose's best year in a long time. But then generally, as I was saying, it has been a really good year for roses. So how have your roses done? Leave a comment, let us know. Were your roses good this year? Did they rebloom? Let us know in the comments. And then onto this rose, Poseidon. This has probably been I would say our biggest success this year in the garden, because I transplanted that this year, and the blooms on it have been magnificent. Really, just a joy to behold. And it's grown like crazy. It was half this height when I transplanted it. So I think it really likes this spot behind this arbor, trellis rather, because it gets some shade, but also, as you can see right now, it's getting full sun. I think it's still going to bloom some more. And while I'm here, disentangle some of this summer snow clematis from out of it. Give it some space. Cut this phlox out the way. Hello there, and welcome to our magical garden. If you're enjoying this video, why not subscribe? And don't forget to like. Also, leave comments. We really appreciate comments. They really help the channel. Thank you. So I started this morning, as I start almost every morning, maybe every other morning, by trimming this summer snow clematis. You can see how vigorously it's grown on this arbor. So that is one plant that was planted down there. It's grown over that whole arbor and then across this trellis as well, just since the spring. But it is really aggressive, so I have to try to keep it away from the climbing hydrangeas down there. And then we have it also on this arbor here, and on that arbor over there. And finally, this year, just because we don't have enough summer snow clematis, we planted it on this arbor here, and this was planted this year. So there are two plants on this arbor, one on each side. But you can see that's one season's worth of growth. And it's amazing the difference the location makes. So we have this in our back garden here, And we also have it in our front garden here. And look at the difference. This has been on this arbor now for, I think this is its 3rd year. So it's taken its time to establish itself, and its growth is much more wispy, much less aggressive and bushy than the ones in the back that are in full sun. But I think that works, that wispy kind of effect works beautifully well, I think, for where it's placed. Ah, rabbits. Rabbits have been just out of control this year. But rabbits are the reason that we have that clematis on the arbor that I just showed you, because I did have a rose on there, and these rabbits ate the rose, believe it or not. There he goes. Have you been seeing a lot of rabbits in your garden this year? Leave a comment, let us know. Other issue we've had here, I'll just zoom in here, are ants. They've been doing this on and off now for the past couple of weeks. And here's a horrible story that will probably make you itch, I'm sorry. But these ants have their nest in this sedum here, and I didn't know that. And this being right next to the waterfall, I was cleaning the algae off of the waterfall by kneeling right there. And you can guess what happened. Yep, they were all over my legs, and they do bite. So I'm not going to do anything with them, they're outside. So I'll let them do their thing. Just be aware that they're there, I guess, is the rule. So in this bed, I'm going to cut down these daylilies, cut them down to the ground, deadhead these Shasta daisies, and then trim back this salvia that's kind of collapsed and has left an ugly hole. Cut down that daylily there, and having done that, we'll expose some of the weeds that I can see. So do a quick spot of weeding. We've got creeping Charlie in here, amongst other things. I'm going to start with the easy stuff. Deadheading these Shasta daisies. I'm leaving the hard work till last. The hard work is going to be dividing some of the daylilies. It couldn't come out because it's dead. Let me go much neater, because this is on a walkthrough, so I have to keep these things. This is goldenrod. I cut some of this back this morning because it was hanging over this walkway. Let's do something with this salvia that's collapsed, which is unfortunate. It's a lovely plant. It's just a shame that it does this. But I'm not going to cut it back to the ground. I'm going to leave like 6 inches, because in the fall, all kinds of beneficial insects can nest in these remaining stalks. So I never cut any. In the summer and the fall, I never cut anything right down to the ground. I try to leave stuff like this through the winter, and then in spring, then cut them down to the ground if necessary. All right. So as I said, that's created a bit of space now. I can see to get in. Do a little bit of weeding. And then these daylilies, same thing. You can leave their leaves and they will, but after a while they're going to start looking quite ugly and brown. Could have left these a little longer because they're still green and quite pretty, but you can see they're starting to go yellow. And again, I'm not cutting them down all the way to the ground. Leave 6 to 8 inches for the insects to do their thing in the fall and over winter. I've got to say that compared to previous years, or maybe I'm speaking too soon, our daylilies are not looking so bad. I can remember in previous years, their leaves would turn yellow, brown much earlier than this. Or maybe I'm imagining it. I'll have to ask Connie, she would know. I'm going to dig up, divide and transplant some of these daylilies, starting with this one. This guy's a really wonderful yellow colour when he's in bloom. But before I do that, I'm going to dig the holes in the front before I dig the daylily up. So I started digging the holes for these transplanted daylilies, and then, as often happens with gardening, I realised really should move these hostas because they're in full sun. Because this bed changed when some trees next door were torn down when they rebuilt the house. So now I have to pause what I'm doing with the daylilies, dig up these hostas, again digging their hole first. There are the holes that I've dug already for the hostas in this side bed here on the side of our house, which is in shade pretty much all day. So that will be a good spot for those hostas. They should like it there. And there they are in their new spot. Give them a good watering. And because this is so shaded, I think they'll be much happier there. So I've dug the whole daylily up, and now to separate it for transplanting. So I'm going to try to get, you can see there's one scape there, one plant there, and one here. So with a knife, I can just go in and separate them. And there you go. And then got a nice bunch of tubers there. So here I have 6 daylilies that I can plant in the front. And thankfully, I've already dug the holes for them. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over there in that bed, 6 daylilies planted and watered. I also remembered to water where they came from, because those plants that got divided would also be shocked. But I think that's a big improvement in the sun there, from where those hostas used to be. And I'm sure those daylilies will be very happy. Well, that was a very satisfying day's work. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this content, why not subscribe for more content just like it? Thank you. Bye.